on that tune. No, this ain't Raymond.
I'm Raymond. You're watching RPadTV, and thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Today, it is Paul, Mac, and I talking about our 3 favorite movies of 2025. We will be counting down to our favorite movies of the year, but also spending some time talking about movies that didn't make the cut, some movies that are being released inexplicably in the last 2 weeks of December, and movies that we're really looking forward to, but ended up disappointing us to some extent. If you follow me on Facebook, then you know that Paul has won the prestigious 2025 RPadTV Peace Prize. And then, just a bit of breaking news, but I just found out that there's a fan of Paul winning this award, and 50 Cent approves. He is very happy that Paul has won this prestigious award.
Well, he knows how much I don't like Puff Daddy.
Yes.
And baby oil. So, it makes sense that he would jump all over that.
That's not what I heard about you and baby oil.
That's not the running theme, a rumor.
No, I like olive oil, not baby oil.
Oh.
I like it when it's made of olives, not made of babies.
Although now that you said that, I could totally see like one of my kids like trying to make something in the kitchen and not having olive oil and just like going and getting like baby oil out of the bathroom and using that instead. And that was just disgusting.
I did something like that once.
Mac, have your daughters ever done this? This happened to my friend. His daughter went to run the dishwasher, but they were out of dishwasher detergent. So she used laundry detergent, and then that pretty much made a foam party in the kitchen.
Yeah. No, we haven't had the foam party accident yet. And if we did, it would likely be 100% my fault.
Ah, interesting. So why don't we start with our number 3 picks? Paul, kick us off with yours.
Right. So my number 3 pick is Ballerina, which is the movie starring Ana de Armas, and it's a spin-off of the John Wick series, which I only got to see because over Thanksgiving, all of the cable movie channels had like free weekends. And so I had for one day, I had literally one weekend, I had literally everything. And so I just DVR'd like a ton of movies, and that was one of them that was on there. It is, if you like the John Wick movies, you're going to like this one as well. It's very much in the same spirit of those. It tells a very different story, and obviously like Anna is the star, although John Wick is in it, as are obviously the other guys. It also explores a different aspect of this sort of underground world of crime and criminal organizations that they've set up. One of the big things is, if you remember in the John Wick movies, there's a scene where Wick goes to see Angelica Houston. In this movie, Ana de Armas ends up being one of the ballerinas that Angelica Houston is training to be an assassin. But at the same time, she wants revenge for something that happened to her in the past. And then she ends up going on sort of a revenge trip.
Is there a lot of Ian McShane's character? I'm a big fan of him.
There's not a lot, not nearly as much as there is in the John Wick movies, but he's definitely in it and plays like an important role in it, as does Griffin Dunn, who we haven't seen in this series before. He's really, really got a big role in it, a really cool role. If you saw Anna in, I guess it was the most recent James Bond movie that she was in, where she kicked ass in that so she's definitely really, really good at that. She's got that she's definitely got the action skills of somebody like Charlize Theron and Keira Knightley. Oddly enough, Keira Knightley was really good at action for a hot minute.
I agree.
I always wish that she had done more stuff like that, but it's not her thing.
Emily Blunt surprised me in that respect.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting her to be as good as she is at action.
That's Tom Cruise movie, where they keep living the same day over and over again. Emily Blunt.
Oh Yeah, I never remember the real name of that movie because I read the comic book and I always think of it like as,
It's a good movie.
as that Edge of Tomorrow,
Yeah,
which it's a movie I absolutely love. Yeah.
So for
So,
Ballerina,
I don't
do you like it
saw
more?
Ballerina.
Do you like it more or less than the John Wick movies?
I
Or is it
liked
just
it
a-
as much as the John Wick movies. I like the John Wick movies a lot, but not to the point where I can discern between them. And I don't mean that in the sense of like what happens. I'm talking about mere like enjoyment level. Like
Hmm.
I've liked the 4 movies all about the same, and I like this movie about the same. Yeah. And John Wick plays like a very cool, interesting role in this that also illuminates something about his character, which I thought was interesting. Something they've kind of hinted at in the past, but like you kind of get like a better sense of it. I hope they do. I don't know how well this movie did, and they hint at like there could be another one, but I hope there is because
I will tell you right now through the
Okay.
power of Google.
I honestly don't remember if I saw Ballerina. I feel like I might have, but like I just don't remember if I did, so I couldn't add it to my list. But
I
feel
would
like,
say
like,
that if you don't remember it, then you didn't see it because there's some interesting
there's
things in that.
lapses in what I was watching at the time and doing at the time. But either way, like I feel like if I did see it, it probably would have been in my list as like a top pick.
So Ballerina did 137 million worldwide, which is good, but it had a $90 million budget. So in that respect, maybe it could have done better. And compare that to John Wick Chapter 4 did 440 million worldwide. But
over how long though?
I mean, that's Keanu though. So he is an established leading man for a very long time. And Ana de Armas is very talented and very gorgeous and very Cuban. Did you know in her first movie with Mr. Fantastic and Jonah Hill, she actually was not fluent in English at the time, and she learned her English lines phonetically. So she was speaking, but she didn't really know what the hell she was saying. So that was very
like
cool.
A lot of us.
Yeah, yes. But yeah, I'm very curious. I do want to check Ballerina out over the holidays.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to add it to my list now.
And actually, I can say the same about Mac's number 3 pick, which is a movie that has been on my list for a while, but I haven't gotten around to yet. So Mac, tell us a little about it and why you liked it.
So my criteria for what I picked for like movie 25, I have to like remember that I saw it. And then like for me, the pick of like, is it above everything else is, did I go back and watch it again once or twice after I saw it the first time? And so that's where these all kind of like fit that category. Like they were kind of like, this one was a surprise for me. Like, I do love everything that John Cena seems to do. Right. So like I had expectations based on that. And I also liked them and the prior DC movies together. And the girl, like the whole movie is actually just like fantastic from top to bottom, and everybody really like just kind of works well off of each other. We already know that from John Cena and what's his name,
Idris Elba. He's very talented. Yeah,
just from all the DC stuff before. But like it was really fun to see them in a totally different roles that kind of played on some of today's politics, but also not at the same time. And it was just a fun movie that I went back to a couple times.
So if I'm remembering correctly, Cena's like the president of the United States.
Yeah, he's the president, and the other guy's the prime minister.
And what is the Jonas wife in this?
She's like a secret agent. And has like almost like a weird side story that takes a while to like circle up and intersect with the main story. But what I thought like was just fun and just an interesting way to tie it all together, because like it didn't seem like it fit at first. You're like, oh, okay, and after a while you're like, oh, what happened to her? And then she's back. I'm like, all right, now I get it.
Interesting.
It was fun. It's definitely like a good, solid, almost like the equivalent of like an 80s era action, like Schwarzenegger action flick, like that.
Yeah,
feeling,
yeah, I can see that.
but better. right?
Cool. And how funny is I like when Cena leans into the comedy and is not serious at all.
Everything you want from John Cena playing the president of the United States.
Yes.
In
Perfect.
today's era.
Cool. So for my pick, and actually for all my picks, I'm going to be a little more explainy because all my picks happen to be small indie films that maybe a lot of you don't know about. And while we're working on that too, Mac, your audio is a little scratchy, so hopefully we can sort that out.
Not the first time I've heard that, so I will see what I can do.
Yes. Aha. And Paul was just messaging me in incognito because he is sneaky like that. So my number 3 pick is Sorry Baby. It is a small film written, directed, and starring Ava, what's her last name? Ava Victor, who I did not know anything about, but absolutely fell in love with her as a talent in this movie. In fact, there was only one other actor I knew in this movie, and that's Naomi Ackie, who was in The Rise of Skywalker as possibly Lando's daughter. And she was in Mickey 17 as well, which is a movie all three of us saw this year. But
it's a Lando's daughter, possibly, in
The Rise of Skywalker. Yes.
Wow. Okay.
So this movie, Ava plays a college professor that is dealing with the trauma of sexual assault. And the movie hops around at different times in her life, mostly revolving around her friendship with Liddy, who's played by Naomi Ackie. So we start kind of a few years after her sexual assault. We hop back in time to when she was a grad student and a professor sexually assaulted her. And we hop back and forth in different periods of her life to see how the experience has traumatized her and affect her life and her relationships. And it's a serious, sensitive topic, but it's written in a way that at times it's heartbreaking. At times it's really funny. At times it's very tender and sweet. In addition to the main character's trauma, a lot of it is about the friendship between these two characters, and it's a really beautiful relationship they have. Liddy, who's played by Naomi Ackie, they were roommates in grad school, and during school, Liddy discovers that she's a lesbian, and she ends up marrying a woman who might as well be Agnes's doppelganger. So that is a little funny. But yeah, it's really well written, really well acted, and just a clever movie about a topic that, it's not something that's discussed. Like, I have friends that have experienced sexual assault. I'm sure you guys do too, but it's not something that, we don't.
LA is like everybody knows somebody here, right? Like it's
right, but we don't really talk about it. Like, hey, what was your sexual assault like? So, it's a touchy, sensitive topic, as well it should be. Yes. But yeah, I love how this movie gives us different looks and how it affects different parts of their lives. Not just their romantic relationships, but just their friendships, how they view the world, how they view even the role of pets in their lives. So yeah, I'm very happy I learned about this movie, and I got to see it in theaters. But I think it's streaming now on HBO, if I am not mistaken. So if you have HBO Max, highly, highly recommended. And I did not change my Chiron for my pick. God damn it.
I don't want to say anything.
Yes. Now you can say something. Mac, let's go with your number 2 pick, which was probably my favorite superhero movie of the year.
Yeah, I felt like, and especially like when I look at the other movies they're also in here too, like Paul, like the Thunderbolts and like the Fantastic, the other superhero movies that came out, I had to look at those as like everything for me measures against like how I felt about Deadpool when Deadpool came out. Deadpool would have been an A rating for any of them, right? Like, but like Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four to me, like they kind of landed in like they did exactly what I expected them to, but not more. and I enjoyed them for what they were. So those were kind of like B's. But Superman for me, like I loved it. I went home. I've seen it multiple times. It's just it kind of gives me the feels, you know. Like you definitely watch that movie and it's powerful. So that was my number 2. And again, something I was a surprise the first time I saw it. I've now gone back to it multiple times, watched it on my own. Like the kids will sit down and watch it with me if I just have it on out in the other room. So it's a good movie.
And you're also partial to James Gunn's general style, so
Indeed. Yeah, for sure.
It makes sense that it would fit into your wheelhouse.
Yeah, I like the, you know, and honestly today I just posted the trailer for Supergirl, which is coming in June, and like it's the same thing, man. That movie, I'm so excited for that one. And again, we got a tiny little taste of it at the very, very end of the Superman movie.
Yes.
So I'm excited to see where that goes.
Yes. If you haven't read Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow by Tom King, highly recommended. Tom King, I think, is one of the best comics writers in the last 15 years. I love his stuff. I'm curious and a little scared to see how Lobo is portrayed in this movie.
It's like I just saw this like browsing around the other day, but I guess there was like first images of Jason Momoa as Lobo.
Yeah,
kind of creeping around the darker spaces of the internet.
I think it's a better fit for him. I really disliked his Aquaman in the Snyderverse, because when I think of Aquaman, you know, his name is Arthur. He's supposed to be King Arthur of this kingdom. He's this like regal, you know, wise dude, not like surfer bro Aquaman that Jason Momoa gave us in the Snyder movies. But Dude Bro works much better for Lobo than it does for Aquaman. Sure. So I hope, and you know, just throw a little Khal Drogo in there. I think it totally works. Mm-hmm. Paul did not like Superman as much as we did.
I liked it. I've watched it again. I've watched the whole thing since it's been on HBO, and I've watched bits and pieces of it since it's been on HBO. I still think it's pretty good as a Superman movie. It just didn't hit for me the way some of the other superhero movies did this year. But there is one thing I wanted to ask you guys, because the second time I watched it, I got more confused by something. Yes. And I wonder maybe you can answer this question. Was it your
sexuality?
No. So I don't remember the character's name, but there's a woman. She works for Lex, and her entire body is like nanobots now.
That is the engineer.
Yeah. Right. Okay. And in the movie, they say she makes a comment about like, you know, I came to work with you, and now I'm with you in this whole anti-Superman thing.
Right.
But then when she's fighting Superman, she's got this anger about her that is way more than you would have based on what she said. Like she seems like she was really hurt by him in some major way, and that's like driving her, and it seemed very weird to me. And I just wondered if I
feeling from her. I got the most extreme of ego. Like I felt like she believed she was so powerful that she like could fucking beat Superman. Like I think she was just overwhelmingly cocky and egotistical.
That is not what I got. I got that she has a hatred for metahumans in general, which is why she volunteered to have her body taken over by nanobots, and Superman being the most powerful metahuman, that is like her primary target of anger. So
yeah, I don't know. It seemed disproportionate.
Yeah, I mean the character isn't really developed too much. She's like Lex's lackey to me, which is a shame because I really like the character in the comic books, and very, very different in the comics. So it might be one of the changes James Gunn makes that I don't like, which he did a lot of in Guardians, because I was a fan of the original comics much more than I am of this Guardians movie.
Maybe I'll go watch a Guardians tonight now that you said that.
Aha. I mean, they're fun movies, but
it's enjoyable, you know.
Drax is not like borderline like mentally disabled in the comics. Like actually no, that's not true. He actually is kind of mentally disabled in the movie, but he's not a buffoon is like the way Batista portrayed him
He's
in
not a
the
buffoon. That's the whole point. That's the whole
the
point.
second two
Oh,
movies.
come on. The whole thing where he's sitting there eating the Zarg nuts and he's like, I'm just standing here. Nobody
Yeah.
can see me because I'm not moving. I mean,
Yes.
you know.
I thought that was fucking hilarious.
See, and,
But he did very doofusy.
I'm an
Yeah.
easy target when it comes to that kind of humor.
but I mean his character in the comics is way different, but that is neither here nor there. Now, my number 2 pick was very different than what I was expecting because I thought it was going to be a quirky British rom-com, but it is not a romantic comedy at all, even though it's set up that way. And similar to Sorry Baby, I only know one actor in this movie. The female lead was in that unfortunate Wall Street sequel that should not have been made. You know, the one with Sean LaBeouf or whatever the hell is his name.
Bizarro Ryan, what's his name?
Ah,
That kind of looks like a weird Bizarro Ryan Gosling, like Bill Ryan Gosling.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, Gosling is very handsome to me, and this guy is not. So, but yeah, The Ballad of Wallace Island. The guy in the middle plays this millionaire, quirky millionaire, who hires his favorite folk duo to play a concert. And, you know, they think it's like this small concert on this private island, but it's really just for him. He's such a big fan of his. We learn why later in the movie. So you think the movie is about, you know, the folk duo that broke up getting back together, but it absolutely is not. For the guy in the duo, he has tried a different genre of music that is more poppy, but it pretty much sucks. So for him, it's about reconciling his past and being able to move forward from the success that he had, both creatively and romantically, because part of him still wants to be with her. For her, she has moved to America and is starting a family. And this was kind of like a payday to help pay for the baby and everything. But she's totally, you know, she's totally done with being a music star and just wants to move on with her life. And for the quirky weirdo millionaire, who is just a cute, adorable character, we find out later that his wife died, and when they were a young couple, they used to follow around this folk duo to their different concerts. So for him, it's about, you know, letting go of her memory and moving on. But yeah, it's a small setting. It's filmed on this small island in Wales. So most of the island and most of the movie is just different locations on this island. So it's very small, but yeah, it's really cutely and cleverly written, and the performances are really good. Very, very happy I saw this one. This one is now streaming on Amazon Prime, I believe. So if you guys want to catch that, I also recommend it. And Paul, why don't you close out with your number 2 pick?
Right. So my number 2 pick was Thunderbolts.
Yes,
the Marvel movie.
Number 2 again.
Which I and it's funny because I went into it a little concerned that it was going to be too much like Suicide Squad, either of the 2 Suicide Squad movies. And it really wasn't. It was if anything, it was sort of more like a Dark Avengers kind of thing. And when I say that, I don't mean Dark Avengers because there is a Dark Avengers but which is more magic based. I meant like more tonally dark, like, you know.
I thought Paul meant it in a racist way.
Yes.
You wanted all people of color Avengers.
Yes,
So
because
much
if
for the
there's
peace
anything
vibe.
that you can say about Paul, it's that everything he says is racist.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, that's Donald Trump. No, but I think it was really, really good. And I think one of the reasons I think that this movie worked really, really well, even though you had, again, this sort of disparate group of people, is because of the cast. And because everybody in the cast was really, really good in the roles. I mean, David Harbour just inhabits that character, Red Guardian,
Absolutely.
really, really well. You know, obviously, you know, the other guys are really good too, and you know, what can you say about you know, Milena or Belova, whatever her name is, you know, that, you know,
Yelena with a Y.
Yelena. Yes, thank you. I'm drawing a blank on her name right now, but she was excellent. And it also, I think it sets up a lot of things. And I think it's going to be one of these Marvel movies where not everybody will do this, but some people I think will have a sort of reassessment of this movie at some point. And I think that point will come after Avengers Doomsday, because I think they're going to play a big role in that movie, and people are going to go, wait a minute. And then they're going to go back and watch this and go like, okay, this makes a lot more sense.
Got it.
Like the way I would describe it is not even Dark Avengers or New Avengers as it ends up being called, but I almost call these like the mentally ill Avengers, because they're all dealing with such trauma, and they're all such damaged people that
I wouldn't maybe not mentally ill, but maybe mentally maybe like emotionally damaged,
traumatized.
Sure, yeah.
You know,
although one of them is definitely mentally
ill. Yes, one of them is definitely mentally, yeah.
At least one of them.
Yes.
Which one are you talking about?
Sentry or Bob.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really enjoyed this movie.
I did too. It was definitely on my list of like top movie choices of the year.
But I also get why it didn't do as well as other Marvel movies, because it's basically hey, let's take a bunch of C-tier characters and put them all together. And
an A-tier movie.
That works in comics a lot. And even though you do have star power here, I don't know that people, especially Marvel MCU fans, I don't know that they had really deep emotional connections to these characters in the same way they would with like an Iron Man or a Captain America or something.
Right.
So,
no, but you could make the argument that the Guardians of the Galaxy were complete unknowns before they got to do their movie, and that did super well.
Right, but I mean, they weren't B characters in other movies. They all started together as
right.
Let's not forget about Deadpool's X-Force.
Yes. Especially Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt, and then what's Terry Crews?
Terry Crews, the guy who played the evil sensei in Cobra Kai. He played who's the guy with the 3 fingers and throws things? That's from the Mojo Long Shot.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, he was in Deadpool and Wolverine as well. And at the end scene when they're all having dinner.
Oh, the guy from Mojo World?
Yes.
Yeah, he's all like, I'm better than you in every way, and then he gets yeah.
Oh, it's not Longshot. It's Shatterstar, who is
Shatterstar
related to Longshot,
or Rusty.
Yes. Oh, Rusty. That's a shame that I really wish they brought Cable and Domino back.
That's one of my biggest gripes about the whole Deadpool universe is like I would have absolutely watched a continuation of their story altogether.
Yes. But this section is going to be a little long. Before we get to our number 1 picks, I want to talk about, late December releases that are on our radar, movies we were looking forward to this year that disappointed us, and movies that just made the cut. For December releases, there were 2 that I have my eye on. I don't think they would make the list. Maybe one would, but one is Song Sung Blue with Hugh Jackman and what's her face, Kate Hudson. So he plays a Neil Diamond impersonator that actually ended up opening for Pearl Jam in like the late aughts. So it's about their relationship. And, I mean, he has a great voice, Hugh Jackman. And for those of you who don't know, he actually, before he became a big movie star, he was a big musical theater star. A lot of people know him from
a soap opera performer.
Soap opera, Oklahoma. Who was that guy that the gay Australian guy that dated Liza Minnelli, the boy
Peter
from
Allen?
Highlander. Yes, he plays Peter Allen in that musical. Wow, Paul, I'm very impressed with your knowledge. But yeah, and
Yeah.
you know,
Crocodile Dundee was going to be my answer. So
people have seen him sing in movies like The Greatest Showman and stuff like that. The other movie is This Thing On, and that is starring Will Arnett and Laura Dern. Will Arnett plays this. They play a couple that are in a troubled marriage, and he discovers stand-up as his outlet, and basically he complains about his marriage in his stand-up, and he actually becomes good at it, gets a little following. So allegedly they're both really great in it, and that's also a late December release. So, and I'm a big fan of stand-up comedy in general. A lot of this place takes place in the Comedy Cellar in New York, which is like a legendary club out there. And there's a guy, I don't know much about the actor, but I need to look him up. But he seems like a stand-in for Patrice O'Neill, who is a really influential New York comedian. Didn't quite get the mainstream success that he deserved, commensurate to his talent, but all comedians in New York respect the hell out of this guy. You might have seen him in a few of those Comedy Central roasts. He was killer in those.
okay.
Do you guys have any December releases, late December releases that were on your radar?
You know, the one that I actually just watched like the other day was it? I think it was December. One Battle After Another, the Leonardo DiCaprio. It's definitely a good movie. Like I would recommend like taking the time to watch it. It's kind of a slow ride up front and a wild ride from the middle through the end, but it's definitely worth taking the time to see. I like that one a lot.
Who else is in that? There's someone else interesting in it that I can't remember.
Me neither.
Oh, Benicio's in it. He's always
his character is hilarious, by the way.
The girl that plays his daughter, she's in something. Oh, what do we know her from?
Come on, IMDb, do your thing.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a bit of like a wild ride. It's just kind of funny. I forgot Benicio del Toro's character made me laugh out loud. Sean Penn's character is fucking nuts. He looks like Sean Penn looks like an emaciated, like just like roided out military guy, and he plays the part perfectly.
Your sound got better.
It's interesting.
I love that. That just
I totally unplugged the mic and then replugged it back in. I don't know. You know, that's.
I hate when that works. Trick. I hate when that is the solution. Like when you're on the phone.
Because then every time you talk to the person about your internet going out, they're like, "Have you tried unplugging the router?" You're like, "Fuck you, I hate you," and then
it works. Right. And I'm like, "God damn it!"
So yeah, like that one was that was the most of like the December ones. I had a couple others that I threw in here that I think are like,
you had one that mentioned. I did not know this existed until you mentioned this. So please.
Dude, do yourself a favor, and after we're done, make a bag of popcorn and go sit down and watch these.
What's it called? Predator. What is the
Killer of Killers?
Killer of Killers.
That's the animated one, right?
Yeah, and it's fucking phenomenal.
I did not know it existed, but it looks very cool.
I didn't either. And ironically, like when I actually watched it, I thought it was going to be the other newer one, Predator, or whatever it is. The
Badlands.
Badlands. Yeah, I thought it was going to be something like that. I just had them confused in my head. And this was like a whole animated thing with like 3 or 4 mini stories that are all really well told and just you don't want to look away. It's great.
Are they intertwined or are they standalone?
They're intertwined in a way.
So it's kind of like that Star Wars Tapas series. What are those called again, Paul?
The Visions.
Star Wars Visions, yeah. Also, when Mac, when you said that Predator KOK was in your honorable mentions, like King of Kings, is this like about Predator Jesus?
No, not Predator Jesus. No, Killer. It was just again total total out of the blue surprise. I love that it was animated and also with like a lot of blood and gore. It really delivered just on like what you would expect from like a Predator narrative, like animated, like, you know, adult level animated, you know, show. Really cool, worth the time. Like I said, bag of popcorn tonight, you'd be night well spent.
I had two movies that I wanted to talk about. One was something I was really looking forward to, but ended up being, it's still a really good movie, but it ended up being a little disappointing, and that is The Materialists. This is a love triangle rom-com written and directed by Celine Song. Her movie Past Lives was my favorite movie in 2023, so that's why I was looking forward to it. I also liked that Captain America, Mr. Fantastic, and Madam Web were in a love triangle. And the two guys, the two male leads are really great.
I gotta be honest, like, this is the first time that I've seen anything. I haven't seen this movie. I know it's out there and I can go watch it when I want. But this is the first time I've, like, my honest reaction to seeing this when it came out had nothing to do with the movie. It was just like, I'm fucking sick and tired of Pedro Pascal being in everything.
he's really good.
I don't want to watch it because of that, but I will. Right? Like, it's just like, oh god, it's another fucking Pedro Pascal movie. Like,
it's interesting. Like he plays like the rich, you know, well-to-do ideal match for Dakota Johnson.
mm-hmm.
Whereas Chris Evans, he plays like the schlub, but they have the genuine bond. And it's kind of weird seeing Chris Evans play a schlub when we think of him as, like, you know, prototypical leading man material.
Yeah.
But the problem with Dakota Johnson is just she doesn't have the vulnerability as an actor to play someone that's supposed to be, you know, damaged and hurt. And, you know, I still think of her as and this is kind of unfair, but I still think of her as an entitled Nepo baby. So
yeah,
seeing her, you know, play a damaged character didn't really work for me. I think she was the wrong actor for this role. She's really good in other things, but I think she's more of a movie star than an actor, at least in what I've seen her in. The other pick that almost made it as my number 3 is called The Blue Moon, and this stars Ethan Hawke pretending to be short and ugly, which is a very amazing thing. But he plays Lorenz Hart, who, before there was Rogers and Hammerstein, there was Rogers and Hart. They wrote Blue Moon together, obviously. My Funny Valentine is probably their other major hit, but they were a pretty big deal. But then, you know, Rogers and Hammerstein, they became an even bigger deal.
Look at the just collar on that suit.
Yes, that is a great double breasted.
He could get airborne. He ran fast enough.
So this is an interesting movie in that it's very small. It all like 99% of it, except for like a few seconds in the opening, it takes place in Sardi's, which is a restaurant in New York in the theater district. And that is, you know, a lot of theater rap events were there back in the day. Some might remember it from the Muppet movie where they switched one of the portraits in Sardi's with Kermit's portrait to pretend that he is famous.
That's funny.
Ethan Hawke's performance is really good, but in a way it kind of reminded me of Colin Farrell pretending to be ugly in The Penguin. So they also have similar taste in suits, but
right.
It's a really good movie, very small, well directed, directed by Richard Linklater, who this is not what I was expecting from him.
No, it doesn't seem like it's his camp.
From the guy that brought you Dazed and Confused comes a little step into the history of musical theater. And this is the weird thing. If you look at these two actors, the movie reminded me of, you know, how there are movie versions of Glengarry, Glen Ross, and 12 Angry Men.
Yeah.
A few of them. So this is an original movie, but in my head, it works better as a play because the setting is so small. It's basically one restaurant. But in my head, there's a perfect theater version of this where Lorenz Hart is played by, and it's set in the 90s. In my head, Lorenz Hart, his role is played by Henry Winkler, and the guy playing Richard Rogers is played by Christopher Reeve, as the straight man. And I can see it being a perfect play in that regard. I mean, these two actors do really well in it. But yeah, it really comes off more as a filmed play than a movie, but still really, really good, really well written. And Ethan Hawke, maybe more than 60% of the dialogue is his. It takes place on the opening of Oklahoma, so he's dealing with that resentment of his new partnership, of Roger's new partnership with Hammerstein and that success. He hates Oklahoma because he thinks it's too lowbrow and comedic, and he is kind of pretentious. He is also trying to impress a young Margaret Qualley, who plays a 20-year-old Yale student, to his 47-year-old. He calls himself omnisexual, but he is a bisexual middle-aged man who's also a drunk. But yeah, it's very, very self-contained movie, and Ethan Hawke is just tremendous in it. Paul, you had a few things on your honorable mention list.
Yeah, the one of them that I wanted to mention was Captain America: Brave New World.
Yes,
which I liked, but I wanted to like it more.
Yeah.
I was hoping it was going to be as. I mean, this isn't really fair, but I was hoping it was going to be as good as the other Captain America movies.
Tall Order. Yes.
Yes, it's a tall order, but I really like Anthony Mackie, and I like, you had Sebastian Shaw as Stan in that one, and Harrison Ford, and it just
Carl Lumley was
Carl Lumley, yeah, who's always really, really good. It just didn't. It's good. It's good.
It did what it did exactly what I expected
great.
it to do, but no more.
Yeah.
See, I wanted it to be good, and I did not like it much, and I will be happy if I never see it again. But this was a.
Now we know how to torture you, Raymond.
The movie was a victim of rewrites and reshoots, and you can tell there were two ways they were going with this, and they tried to mash it up into one. A lot of characters got cut, a lot of characters got rewritten, and in that respect, it reminds me of Daredevil Born Again, in that there were two distinct production crews working on different parts of a movie, and the end result wasn't as good as it could have been.
Yeah, it looks stitched together.
Yes, yeah. Yes. And what's his face? Giancarlo Esposito. That character was all reshoots. So which is very weird.
Yeah.
And I don't buy Anthony Mackie as a lead. I like him as a supporting character. At least in the MCU anyway. But
I think do you think that's a byproduct of how his character was positioned within the MCU? Like, and introduced as always
that's part of it for sure.
Kind of team, right?
I mean, Falcon is a sidekick character, so
right.
Yes. Even though in the comics he does at one point to get the shield and everything and becomes a proper captain.
Yeah, I feel the same way, man. That was a movie that I was excited to see. I'm glad I saw it. I haven't gone back and watched it really again after that. It just kind of was like, okay, like that happened.
Yeah, that happened. That's what you want in your Blu-ray cover.
Yeah.
that happened.
Yeah, no.
Paul, I don't know anything about this project.
Okay. Yeah, so this is for me the biggest disappointment movie-wise of the year.
Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't know we're going in there. What is this?
Yeah. So this is Star Trek Section 31. It was a movie. It was not released in theaters. It was only on Paramount Plus. It's sort of a spin-off of the TV shows Discovery, Star Trek Discovery, which is one of my favorite Star Trek shows. And it has Michelle Yeoh, who is always fantastic. It just didn't work. I found myself sitting there like, Like, I can't think of a single episode of Star Trek that I was ever as unattached to as this. Like, as weird as that. Like, I love Star Trek, and like even the worst Star Trek episodes are somewhat entertaining by virtue of being Star Trek, and this just didn't. It just didn't work. And
yeah.
You think it was the writing, or
I think it was the story just didn't. I mean, she's good in it. She's playing a character who she had played in Discovery and was really, really interesting. Who was basically this is getting way too into the weeds. She's basically like the Empress in the Mirror universe, and then she gets brought into ours, and she has to like try to behave, but like she doesn't try all that hard. And so this is like she's going to be like a spy kind of person in this sort of secret division of Starfleet. And
is there a British character that tells her, "Oh, behave"? That would
but that
she
could have
talking to Bane. Like, who's the dude?
I don't remember because
Future Bane
again. Because again, this is the problem. This movie went in one ear and out the other.
That's funny.
So
another movie that was a slight disappointment to me was Wicked for Good. I loved the first part of Wicked last year. That was one of my favorite. I think it was in my top 3 picks. This year, I still think of Wicked as one work. So cutting it up into 2, I understand why you had to do it, because I don't think many people are going to sit through a 3.5-hour musical in a theater. But some of the new songs they added, I don't think they were as good. They made some songs just specifically for the movie to give it more runtime. And, ending the first movie on Defying Gravity, which you have to do. It's kind of hard to follow that, even though I do love the song For Good. Just didn't have the impact that the first one did for me. You had 2 other picks, Paul. Curious to hear. I'm a big fan of this movie. I don't know why I didn't like it more.
I haven't seen it yet. So that's one of the ones. I thought it was actually going to be on HBO this weekend, but now it seems it's going to be next weekend, which is fine, because there's a Sarah Sherman stand-up special.
Oh, weird.
On instead, which looks absolutely bonkers. I love her on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, she's a weirdo. I love her.
Yeah, but it would have been a very crowded Saturday, because there's also a new Saturday Night Live. And for people who don't know, I don't know if this is true for you, Raymond, but for us out here in LA, we get Saturday Night Live at 8:30 at night on Saturdays. So we can watch it early.
Yes, you can do that on streaming too, on Peacock, which is how normal people watch it. No, just kidding. But yes,
I don't think normal people watch Peacock, Raymond.
Peacock?
More people stream.
Never mind, that just made Paul's argument. Sorry.
But yeah, this is Spinal Tap 2. And how many years was it between movies?
40, maybe?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. That's like Dumb and Dumber.
Even longer, maybe.
Yeah.
Is the gap between this or between Spaceballs bigger?
Oh.
Interesting.
They finished filming, by the way, so Mel Brooks survived filming.
All right.
Now we're just in post and edit and all that stuff.
Hopefully he makes it through this. But yeah, I still watch This One Goes to 11 at least once a month. That's one of my favorite movie clips ever, especially as someone who's bad at guitar. But yes, if you don't know this clip, it is fantastic. And it's also interesting seeing a young Rob Reiner, who at the time I still thought of as Meathead from Archie Bunker, instead of one of the most successful directors of our time. It's
of our generation. Yeah.
It's funny how it's like Meathead, Opie, and Laverne became like really tremendous directors. Although Laverne doesn't work as much as she used to.
Nah.
Paul, you had one other movie, and I don't know your thoughts on this. I enjoyed it, but what did you think of The Naked Gun?
So again, The Naked Gun, I would sort of put in the same sort of headspace as the Captain America movie. I liked it. It was very funny. It wasn't as funny as I was hoping. I was hoping for laugh out loud funny, and it was more like, okay. Like
Right.
it kind of weirdly reminded me of that Ryan Reynolds movie, the one where he's like character in a video game.
Oh yeah,
Free
The new guy,
free guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's some very entertaining things in that movie, Free Guy, but like,
Yeah.
and
Do you think-
same with this, like there wasn't like a lot that I was like, okay, that's really hysterical.
Do you think the generation that didn't grow up with Leslie Nielsen and like the Police Squad and Naked Gun, do you think this movie was funny or made sense to them?
Might be funnier to them because they didn't have those to compare to. I mean,
Yeah,
I
Funny, like-
love all those early Zucker Abrams
Zucker
movies.
Brothers,
Yeah, I mean,
Airplane.
Airplane is one of the most influential movies.
Oh, are you kidding?
My
Taught me everything you
personality.
need to know about traveling.
Yes, but yeah, I mean that informed my sense of humor like
Yeah.
big time when I was a kid.
100%.
I don't know if they would have liked it because I think some of them probably would have thought it was really funny because it's so different. But at the same time, I also think that some of them just would have been like, "What the hell is going?" Like, because there's
Yeah.
like a way about those movies where like it's
I
just
feel like
so
there's a
weird and
generational gap in
real.
humor.
Yeah, but I mean, some of it is similar to the originals, but some of it reminded me more of almost like an Austin Powers type of humor, especially that scene where the guy's like spying on them through the binoculars, but they pull the shades down so it looks like they're doing
I just
naughty
watched the
things.
first Austin Powers the other day with my 16-year-old, and she thought it was funny.
Yeah, I mean, but it's not original Naked Gun funny for me.
No, it's a different kind of funny though.
Yeah, it's an entirely different kind of funny altogether.
Funny like when a clown dies.
Yes. But yeah, so that'll wrap up that section. And that went how I wanted it to. That was very interesting. You added things to my list that I want to see now. And let us close things out with our favorite movies of the year. I am going with Rental Family, which is a very cool independent movie by a woman who calls herself Hikari. She is not like a one-name Japanese woman. She actually has two names. But Brendan Fraser plays a struggling gaijin actor in Tokyo who gets recruited by this agency. And what they do is they have actors play people in other people's lives, you know, whether it's a stand-in for a best friend. His first job is to be a token white guy mourning at a funeral. He gets paid to be a fake groom in a wedding. So the bride can sneak off to Canada with her girlfriend, but she doesn't want her tell her parents that she's a lesbian. And the two big stories, he gets up with this little girl. He pretends to be her father. She does not know that he is not her real father, but her mother needs his help to get her into a private school, but he ends up making a really beautiful and authentic bond with her. He also plays a journalist that is doing a story about an old Japanese actor. And the old actor ends up wanting to go to his small hometown in rural Japan to find some memories. He has Alzheimer's, but he wants to find some memories before his memory totally fades away. And Brendan Fraser is tremendous in this. I really love the roles that he's using. I don't know. I mean, I don't think anyone's giving him an award for Encino Man, but
Well, they're wrong.
but I mean, he won a lot. He got a lot of nominations and awards for The Whale, but I actually think he's better in this.
The Mummy.
Yeah, but I mean, my favorite movie of all time is Lost in Translation. So there are similarities in that a lot of this movie takes place in Tokyo. And I think visually that's one of the most interesting cities in the world to film. There's so many visually interesting and visually distinct parts of that city, but they also go to other parts of suburban Japan and rural Japan as well.
I think there's another old movie with him in it called School Ties, where he played like a
That was his first movie, I believe.
Jewish guy at like
Yes.
a private non-Jewish school, and that was a great movie.
With evil Matt Damon in that
Evil
movie.
Matt Damon. God damn, that's right.
Yes. Yes. But two of the characters in this are played by actors that you guys know from Monarch. The woman that plays Kay, she is in this. And the guy that plays Kay's son, he actually runs the rental family agency. And for those of you who don't know, these jobs are actually a real thing in Japan. Like, the way they say it in the movie is that mental health is stigmatized. So there's not a lot of people that seek therapists, but they use these agencies as stand-ins to, be their brother or sister or mother for a while. Yes, Johan was also, I saw it for the third time with Johan, so he really enjoyed this as well.
All right.
But yeah, it's just beautifully written, performed and shot. And I hope that Brendan Fraser and Hikari rack up some awards for this one. I just think it's not only is it my favorite movie this year, but it's got to be top 10 in my favorite movies of all time. Now that I've seen it 3 times. Yeah. Very, very powerful stuff.
Cool.
Yeah. And Mac, your number one pick, I have not seen, but now is on my list as well.
I'll give you like if I could sum it up in one sentence, Raymond, the main leader of the resistance is animatronic Mr. Peanut.
That's a
not kidding. Like, I say that with all seriousness, and you're like, "Fuck yeah, let's go, Mr. Peanut!" Like, it's a. So this movie came out of left field. It was like a Netflix movie. I had zero expectations it was going to be good, and man, like, what a surprise, right? It was such a cool, kind of futuristic and really high production value movie with Chris Pratt and then what's her name from Stranger Things. Yeah, it was just such a like a very cool. It honestly made me feel like when I was a teenager, you saw like a cool sci-fi movie for like that you just didn't expect, right? It just felt really cool, and that, like I said, the relationship between Chris Pratt and the robot that's on his right will make you cry.
And Woody Harrelson plays the Mr. Peanut. Is that right?
Yes.
Huh.
I think.
And I believe that Kurt Loder plays one of the voices, right? And which is nice because I wasn't sure he was still alive. But
yeah,
now
it's one of those movies, man. Like I really can't recommend it enough. If you like sci-fi and like Chris Pratt's kind of like, I think people are hit or miss on him just in general. Like you like him as Star-Lord, right? Like it's his character that you see in a lot of movies, but it just works so well in this film. I really liked it. I think it's just a great, and it's family friendly too, so that's always a plus.
Does he do the goofy, kind-hearted hero?
Yeah, like, but just it's in a different, unique way for him. So like it's still separate from all his other characters, but it's definitely still Chris Pratt, right? Like, there's only so many ways Arnold Schwarzenegger can play Arnold Schwarzenegger roles, right? It's kind of the same. But yeah, it was a total out of left field surprise. I've probably watched it 5 or 6 times since it came out. It's just it's up there with like, one of my favorites.
I still remember when Chris Pratt was in the Moneyball movie and it's like Star-Lord is playing baseball for the A's. Like,
oh yeah,
what's going on here? And
that was the movie that had Bobby Kotick in it, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
Are you having PTSD from your Activision days?
Yeah, had a little trip right now. Yeah, I had a couple other I figured I'd throw them out there as just quick word vomits. Other ones that surprised me though this year, The Gorge was on Apple TV. I think when that came out, that was a really kind of interesting, fun movie. Novocaine. Another one.
Oh, I just tried to watch that. That was another one that was on the free weekend.
Yeah, it's fun. It's too long, but it's just a fun ride. Warfare, if you like any of the Band of Brothers, Saving Private Ryan style movies, Warfare was really well done and worth the watch.
Novocaine, I'm like, the concept, I'm like, that's not enough of a concept for a movie.
It isn't. It's nothing new, by the way, but because it's what's his name,
Jack Quaid.
Yes.
Jack Quaid, and he plays just exactly almost like the same characters from The Boys, just like a complete wimp, but who happens to just kind of grow a spine when he realizes he's basically invincible, right? Like he's not feeling any pain. So I thought that was just he does a fun delivery of that narrative, and it just kind of is a ride that keeps kind of getting more fun.
Mac, did you say that he is basically? Yeah.
Honestly, we should just end the show right now. There's no. Got to do the Costanza. Like, that's it for me.
And that leaves us with Paul. Why don't you close us out with your number one pick?
So my number one pick is a movie that I was hoping was going to be good enough to be my number one pick of the year, and it was, which is Fantastic Four: First Steps.
Really?
I've been a huge fan of the Fantastic Four since I started reading comics as a kid, and every single time they did a movie, it just pissed me off even more than the previous time.
Like the one with Miles Teller.
I saw that one with Paul.
Yeah. We went to a screening of that one, and we were just like, what the hell?
And I'm like, it's a damn good thing. I saw that, and I was like, it's a damn good thing Kate Mara is really hot and rich, because otherwise I wouldn't have enjoyed this at all.
Yeah. I wonder if I didn't like the Fantastic Four as much as you might have, because I'm on this, like, how many fucking movies can Pedro Pascal be in? Like, you know.
You really dislike him, huh?
I don't dislike him. That's the thing. Like, it's just like, I can't keep seeing the same dude in every movie. Like, I need, even if he's acting different, I just need a different.
Yeah, but it's not Chris Pratt. He does different characters.
He's in everything, dude. It's just
but he does it differently.
Like, but man, like, he's just in too many things. I'm happy for him.
I guess I don't have that because I haven't seen him in all these different things.
Yeah.
I didn't watch that movie with Dakota Johnson because I find her immensely dull. I didn't watch.
She reminds me
Dakota Johnson coming out of this.
She reminds me of that line when she was on Please Don't Destroy an SNL. Like, so when Aubrey Plaza turns down her roles, do they just call you automatically?
That to me is one of the only things she's ever done that I was like, okay, this is.
She was funny in that sketch, yes.
Yeah,
because they also made fun of her Nepo baby status with two other Nepo babies in that comedy.
Yes, yes, Nepo Festival. But I love the cast of the Fantastic Four. Vanessa Kirby, I was excellent.
They're all really
Joseph
good.
Quinn, the guy from The Bear. The dude that does the voice of Galactus,
Evan Moss, whatever.
Evan Burt Baccarat.
Yeah. No. The guy who does the voice of Galactus, who's like this Irish actor who's
from Game of Thrones.
Yes, just fantastic voice. Even the woman who played the Silver Surfer, who I know she's been around for like a long time. I've never seen her in anything.
Ozark,
but like
it's great in that.
Yeah, but like when she's like, I herald Galactus, like I got chills. Like I've watched that movie a bunch of times now, and like every time I'm like, oh, snap.
I have not gone back to the well on that movie at all.
Oh, I have. It's the only movie of the year that I bought on Blu-ray, on physical media. It's the only one that
So let me ask you guys this then. What is your current now, given everything we talk about, what is your kind of current go-to, put on in the background happy movie? Like makes you feel good when you watch it? I'll give you like mine is any Deadpool movie, doesn't matter. And then also Top Gun Maverick.
Definitely not those.
Definitely not into that horse shit.
No, I like Deadpool and Wolverine a lot. I like all the Deadpool movies, but Deadpool and Wolverine specifically, I watch scenes. Like I can't watch it. I don't think it's a very good movie, like from start to finish, but it has some tremendous and hilarious scenes. But it's barely a movie in terms of
If I put
plot.
either of those on, especially Top Gun, because my 16-year-old's like boy crazy. But if I put like when the moment she hears the song, she'll just come down the stairs. She's like, "You're watching Top Gun without me?" And I was like, "Yeah." Like,
is it she's into Glenn Powell or?
Yeah.
See, I don't get him at all because I watched the
I
Running
don't care.
Man.
It's like a weird man baby face.
To me, he's like a studio exec asked Chat GPT to make a leading man, and Glenn Powell came out. Like, he was really funny on his SNL episode, though. That might be
he was
entertaining.
He's got a good sense of humor, and he delivers the parts that he plays like in a respectable way. Like I respect him as an actor; he pulls it off. But like,
Running Man, I don't know that he was right for the Running Man. Although that movie is kind of weird.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah, I haven't. I want to see it.
That one, I forgot to mention that in Disappointments because I like Edgar Wright a lot.
Oh, we're talking about disappointments.
I don't like Glenn Powell. I love the Running Man.
I want to go back and rewatch the old Arnold Schwarzenegger Running Man before I see the new Running Man.
You should, but it's very different because this is more like the book, except till the end when the book obviously has a proper ending. The Arnold movie had a proper ending, but this one was weird. They almost kind of give you like a YouTube recap of an ending instead of showing you an actual ending for the movie, which I just thought was a very strange choice and very unsatisfying. So I don't know what happened there.
Barker was a Richard Dawson.
Richard Dawson. Yes.
Okay.
Bob Barker fought Happy Gilmore while Arnold was fighting Richard Dawson, who I think is a creepier one, by the way. It always made me uncomfortable how he would like tongue other people's wives on Family Feud. It was kind of gross. He's like feeling up. But
yeah, you know what I've been watching, although it's the same two scenes over and over again because they're just so good, is that movie Weapons.
Huh.
Oh, that's on my list of like worst movies ever.
Well, here's the thing. I started to watch the movie, and I'm very squeamish when it comes to horror, and I couldn't get into the movie. And then I heard that like the ending was cool and that this other scene was cool. And I kind of like fast forwarded, and there's a scene where the guy who plays Wong in all of the Marvel movies.
Yes.
He does something or has something done unto him that causes him to do something.
He's doing the run.
I'm trying not to spoil things.
Oh.
And that scene is just fantastic. And then the ending is just unhinged and fantastic. And it's worth, like, I don't think you should watch the whole movie. You can if you want. But like, even if you just like fast forward to watch those scenes, like those two bits.
That's another box quote.
A funny anecdote here. Usually I eat dinner at night, and then after dinner I go for about like a half hour, 40-minute walk just around our neighborhood in the evening where it's dark out. And then I thought it'd be really funny the other night because there's a whole bunch of people out, that if I just started doing the Weapons run while I was out walking down the street, like neighbors who know would just kind of like freak out, and the other ones would just like probably call the cops. But anyways, yeah, that movie didn't do it for me. My kids were like super about it, and then I finally like sat down and watched it with them after they watched it like once or twice, and because they wanted to see what I would think of it, and I just thought it was terrible. Like it did nothing for me. I didn't think it was scary. It like literally, I laughed out loud at that one scene that you're talking about. And you know, they did such a good job teasing that movie as the next best thing, like, you know, and it has Josh Brolin in it. Like they really put the marketing spin on like just how good and deep and awesome and groundbreaking this movie is. It was like, it's just another,
you know, when it comes to horror, I always defer to my friend Steve, who is just the biggest horror movie fan I've ever met.
Mhm.
and he loved that movie, and he bought it on Blu-ray, and he absolutely loved it. He also loved The Substance, which I could not get through. And that movie, like, I don't know if you watch the end of that movie, you're like, holy crap, I can't believe this made it into like theaters.
See,
Yes.
that makes me want to watch it, Zach Morris. Like Monty Python.
Yeah.
Funnier to me.
My
Yeah,
other
kind
note
of. It's sort of like George Romero directing Monty Python.
Paul, getting back to your pick for a second, I love
sorry.
the costumes. I love the sets, and I love
Yes.
the actors. But there was just something. It didn't feel as eventful to me as Superman. The characters weren't as fucked up as Thunderbolts, you know.
No.
But I love that we finally got a good Fantastic Four movie after those three
attempts.
three god awful Fox ones. Where, God, those first two where they made Dr. Doom an evil businessman, like
Maybe he is an evil businessman.
No, he is not. he is science and magic combined, which is what
Evil science and magic.
he has the mother of all. Actually, he has the mother of all mother issues. But yes, so I mean, there's so much I like about this movie, but for some reason, I've watched Superman and Thunderbolts way more.
Yeah.
Or rewatched rather.
Yep.
And I'm not exactly sure why that is. The Zach Morris says the way the final of Weapons was filmed was
100%. I laughed for all of Weapons.
So I had a question. Were there any movies that a lot of people were raving about, but you saw and just thought, like for me, it was Sinners, which I thought was good. I didn't think it was as great as a lot of our friends.
I liked Sinners. I thought that movie was entertaining.
But I didn't think it was
Robbins.
I like Friendship.
That movie sucked.
Paul and I like Mickey 17. You do not.
I did not like Mickey 17. I was like, if you just want to sit for an hour and a half and listen to Robert Pattinson talk like in a weird voice that is unbefitting to him, like
I enjoyed that one, and I thought it was especially in today's environment in America, where the divide between class is getting bigger. I thought that was an interesting examination of it. I like Bong Joon-ho in general, but I think Paul, you actually read the book, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. The book was better, but
that's most things, though.
Right? Yeah. If Deadpool was a book, it'd be better, and it's a comic book, so what?
Yes.
Well, The Electric State was a book.
What?
Yeah.
Yes.
Really? Do I need to go read that now? Is the book better than the movie?
I don't know. I haven't read the book, but I know there's a sequel.
Is Mr. Peanut the fucking main dude though in the book? Because like
I don't know. I know it is they call it an illustrated book, so I don't think it's a comic book really. I don't think it's a graphic novel, but I think it's like a novel with like a lot of pictures, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. I don't know what it is about that as a character becoming like an animatronic leader of the resistance. Like I don't know what other relic like iconic character from I don't know,
Kool-Aid Man.
Yeah, like again, like
yeah,
that doesn't fit because it's not robotic. But like I don't know. I thought just the fact that Mr. Peanut, like an iconic relic of my past, was like just brought back to like life was really cool. And with Woody Harrelson.
I think also when that stuff happens, there's I think something in the back of your head where you're like, wow, the Planters people let this happen.
Yeah.
They were like, they're cool.
As like a marketing guy who like works on like licensed properties a lot. Like, yes, like I feel like that somebody somewhere was like, just let Billy do it. Like, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we had that with Barbie. That was a pretty major thing. That
right. Same. Well, and I always think of the thing with E.T. where they wanted it to be M&Ms.
Right.
And M&Ms were like, no, we're not fucking doing that.
Idiots.
And so like they went to the Reese's people, and the Reese's people created Reese's peanut
Reese's Pieces.
Yeah. literally made it for the movie, and then they were like, okay, it'll be Reese's Pieces, and
I
now
didn't know that. I didn't know that. I thought Reese's
Yeah.
Pieces existed at that point,
No.
and they're like, I didn't know that's from the movie.
yeah,
That's
I
mega.
I believe so. I believe they or either that or they just started to make it when they were making the movie. Like, but it was definitely not an
Nobody knew about it until the movie. But
yeah.
Unless you're like a kid who loves sweets.
Zach Morris mentioned Weapons and Sinners as the movies that people loved that weren't his thing. Weapons was never going to be. I'm not a horror guy, so Weapons was never going to be my thing.
It
but
was
now
never
that
going to be mine either. But I expected to like sit down and be mildly entertained, and it was just like laughably bad.
I am happy that we had better small budget films this year because that's usually my wheelhouse, and I got way more than enough of that. Especially last year, there wasn't many that I liked. Good Fortune, I forgot to mention that. That's with Keanu and Aziz and Seth Rogen. Yeah. Keanu, I think, is a really underrated comedic actor. I wish he would.
So you know what's funny is I saw a thing earlier today, actually, that was like, if you don't remember, Keanu Reeves was like one of the most hated actors of his era. Like in the Bill and Ted, coming out of Bill and Ted, and like where like the Dracula movie, like everything he did was like, if it didn't do well, it was all pointed at it's because this dude's in the movie and he's a fucking joke.
Yeah.
And it's funny how full circle the world has come with him, just like being like the pinnacle of like, you know, somebody you'd want to work with now.
Yeah. I mean, he did this movie in his early days called River's Edge, where I don't think he was very good, but he has one of my favorite lines just because it's such a stupid line and it was written so poorly, and the way he delivers it wasn't good either. But he's having a fight with his stepdad and he's like, why are you even here? All you turn around to do is fuck my mom and eat our food, motherfucker, food eater. And I'm like, I'm like, that's either genius or
just connecting the dots in real time as he's helping people.
I did think of another movie that disappointed me, which was Death of a Unicorn.
Same. I had that on my list. Like, just don't watch it.
You know, I mean, you have Paul Rudd, Jenna Ortega, and this weird concept of these people they're driving and they accidentally kill a unicorn.
Right.
And I'm like, great. I'm there.
It went nowhere.
Yeah.
It was such a weird movie.
I'm not sure that I enjoy her in anything aside from Wednesday. I can't think of anything that I'm saying, oh, I really liked her in this or that. Like, I love her in Wednesday, and
I love her in Wednesday, and I like her as a person, and I've liked her, but yeah, she hasn't done a lot that I mean, I don't really count her performance in Iron Man 3 as anything to put on her head.
I don't even remember that she was in that. What did she do?
She was in. No, I'm sorry. She's in. Is it 2 or 3?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Which was the one with Guy Pearce?
That was 3.
Okay, so she plays the daughter of the vice principal.
No, that's not a role.
And she literally has no lines, and she's just sitting there. Yeah, well, she's the reason why the vice principal, spoiler alert, is involved with killing him, basically.
Zach Morris brought up Eddington, which I know nothing about. It was a tough watch, but I also enjoyed it. But now I have to look it up because it left an impression on you. So that is something.
Real quick, switching gears a tiny bit.
Yeah.
But if you're not watching Last Samurai Standing on Netflix, give it a shot. I love that show. It's great. That's been keeping me entertained recently.
Very cool. But going back to your question, Mac, about background happy stuff, it's usually not a movie for me. I like sitcoms for background.
Oh yeah, you put Seinfeld on in the background all day long, right? Or
for me, it's either Brooklyn Nine-Nine or Community are the ones that
100%.
Community now because they have 2 of my favorite
Parks and Rec also
holiday specials ever. I love the the holiday Glee spoof they did on Community.
Mhm.
What the hell are regionals?
I like that, and then I like the Parks and Rec. There's a particular episode of Parks and Rec with Chris Pratt where he goes to drink out of the water fountain and proceeds to cover the entire water fountain with his mouth. And it's like I guess everybody in the town drinks water like that. It's just like the weirdest. It's one of the grossest things I've ever seen.
And on that note, let us wrap up our best movies of 2025. Guys, if you want to share your picks in the comments section, I'm always looking for stuff to watch, as are these guys. Paul and I will be back next week with our friend Ray Corsillo, talking about our favorite games of 2025. And then we'll be back in January talking about movies, games, TV shows we're looking forward to. And I'm going to try to cram in January an episode all about Rocket Man.
Oh, sweet.
For Mac's requests. Thanks for hanging out with us, Zach Morris, Johan, everyone else. I think Carlos was here for a bit too. We will see you next time on RPadTV. Thanks for watching. Be good.